Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to Geeks Not Nerds, the podcast. I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm the real Manos.
Manos is back with me once again to finally do perhaps the most dreaded of all commentaries.
Yes.
Today we're going to be talking about Batman and Robin, Manos.
Yes. Yes.
Do you have some booze handy?
No, I have some, glue I was gonna sniff.
Okay.
But,
You know, I thought about going for magic markers, but I ended up instead going for Boulevard Wheat, and I am indeed drinking on this show because it's the only way I'm going to get through this.
it's the only possible way. There's no other choice, really. I hated this movie so much when I worked at a video store, at the time of its release. I refused to call it Batman and Robin.
What did you call it?
I would call it George Clooney and Robin.
Oh, okay.
Somebody would check.
I love that you were fine with calling Chris O'Donnell Robin. You were just like, no, he's fine.
Yeah. Well, he was at least kind of close in the ballpark as far as Robin was concerned. I will get to my...
You compare Clooney to anybody that's ever played Batman ever.
Yeah, I will get to my beefs about Clooney's performance in this movie, or lack thereof.
So Manos and I are going to watch the film and talk about it. And once again, if you've never listened to one of these before, what we do is we do a podcast at the same time as we're watching the film. Now, you can do the same thing if you'd like to. If you don't want to do that, we'll try to give as much context as possible so that you know what we're talking about in Batman and Robin, so that you can listen to this without having to watch the thing. And it's not just a straight-up commentary. We talk through the whole movie. But if you do want to watch it with us, go ahead and rig up your DVD or whatever thing you're watching this on to timestamp 0. Get it right to black at the very beginning of the thing. And then I hit the play button whenever Manos and I hit play. Manos, why don't we just jump right into it, shall we?
Okay, hold on. I feel like Indiana Jones in Last Crusade before he stepped over that invisible bridge.
You know, the only way to do something like this is to just put both feet down and do it, Manos.
All right, let's do it.
Everybody into the pool. All right, everybody, hit the play button right now.
There we go. It's happening. And so far, the movie's not too bad. You know, it's just the Warner Brothers logo, and then it gets morphed into the Frozen.
That's icy, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay so far.
This movie.
Oh my God, no, Joel Schumacher.
Is that where it all goes south, Manos?
It does. And then, of course, Schwarzenegger, this is the first time the villain is the star again since Batman '89.
Oh, that's a really good point. That's true. Yeah. Oh, I would make the case that Jim Carrey had that a little bit.
Yeah, but he wasn't credited over Val Kilmer, was he?
Oh, I see what you mean. No, I thought you just meant that the star was more thought of as the villain. You know, the villain was thought of more.
No. I mean top billing.
Top billing. Good point.
And here we go. Another episode of Good Actors, Foolish Choices.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Because, you know, in my opinion, there aren't any really bad actors in this movie with the exception of Alicia Silverstone.
I will even give you she's better than this material.
Yeah, that's true. I still don't like her much, but yeah.
Yeah, and then, of course, here we go to the very uncomfortable suiting up. And you know what? Maybe the DC-52 has a point with the knees, because these guys have really weird kneecap boots.
So you're giving 52 points for doing something Batman and Robin did?
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, yeah. All right.
DC-52, Batman and Robin, you know, there you go. And here is my least favorite Batmobile.
Oh, yeah, me too.
And, of course, here comes some of my least favorite dialogue.
And, you know, I would say the problem with that car is that it looks too much like a toy, but that would be redundant.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I saw it, I knew that was what was going on.
Oh, yeah, and the suits, too.
Yeah.
Like, everything.
I hate that car.
Do you ever wonder how they stick the masks to their face? Like, are they just gluing them to their heads? I know the actors are, but, like, really, like, how practical is that?
Yeah, it's some kind of thing. I don't know. Yeah. Well, of course, I don't know. I guess the bandana thing with the thing going behind the ears, I guess, was too bad or something like that. But yeah, the place, after Riddler blew it up, looks way too neonish.
Yeah, I love how they based it on the, like, gang they found in Batman Forever, right? It's like, we found all this neon out in the middle of a back alley, and we're like, hey, that's a great idea, let's do our cave in that. Let's hire those guys that made neon for Batman Forever.
Now I'm going to make some points about how much of a whiner Chris O'Donnell's Robin is in this movie. But, maybe he has a point. I mean, Batman rebuilt the Batmobile with one seat.
Yeah, that is a really good point. What a jerk face.
I know.
Although, didn't the Batman Forever Batmobile also have one seat?
No, they all had seats. I don't think there was a point where we saw anybody in the two people in the Batman Forever Batmobile.
We didn't, no.
So we never really got to see if it did, but I assume it did. It looked like it had two seats. And here's Chief O'Hara, Commissioner Gordon.
That's hilarious.
Why does he look like Chief O'Hara all of a sudden?
I've never thought of that, but you're totally right, especially that hat.
I know, like... Oh, and of course, what do you think of Elliot Goldenthal, who does this score to this one in Forever, the two Schumacher Batman?
I think for this material, it's fine.
He's my least favorite of the score.
See, the problem with me even thinking something like that, Manos, is he might have scored it differently if it was a different script. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, if it wasn't stupid, maybe he wouldn't have made a stupid score.
I actually like the Batman Forever theme. I mean, lynch me if you want to. I like it.
I can't. You're in Kansas.
Oh, okay. but I mean, like, I think the theme for this lighter material is fine. Now, I don't like the bombasticness of of the music in this movie.
Oh, it's terrible.
Bomb, 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 bomb. Oh,
I know.
I know. Bane wrote it. That's what happened. Bane wrote the music, and that's why it goes bomb, bomb, bomb.
It's like he holds you down and pummels you with music. Anyway, it's like, yeah, I mean, some of the Batmanish stuff that's dark at first in the score sounds good, and it gets to that big trumpety horn sound, and it's so painful and ugly. And I think ugly is a good point of this. Oh, this is one of my least favorite lines. Hey, Freeze! I'm Batman!
I'm Batman!
That's why I don't consider him Batman. I actually don't even I don't consider this a Batman performance, because he doesn't even try.
What's fun with stuff like this sometimes is to just give the practical reason it's stupid. If you're dressed up like that, why tell anyone you're Batman?
Well, I mean...
It's kind of obvious.
Yeah, doesn't everybody know Batman yet in this city? It's like, oh, who's that caped guy with the...
Considering he makes public appearances and, like, goes to auctions and things.
Yeah, I mean, the city has a bat signal.
I would like to know exactly how Robin's motorcycle made that, shape in the wall.
Oh, I know. It's like... ugh.
And I love how... I really think that they built the Batmobile to have only one seat just so they could do that.
Oh, yeah, no. Just so he could have another toy.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, I do like that bike.
The idea of... I'm sorry, what's that?
I do like the bike. I like the design of the bike.
The bike's fine, but I mean, just the idea, and I never thought about it before you said that, because there's so many other things to think about of goofiness in this. I never thought about how dumb it is to have Robin having to ride alongside Batman down the street.
Yeah, it is stupid. It's like, no wonder he's so irritated in this movie. And, but you gotta...
already really conspicuous, but they have to ride two next to each other?
Yeah, and well, I guess that's why he doesn't have a roof in, excuse me. I guess that's why he doesn't have a roof in his Batmobile, so we can yell at Robin. It's like, hey, let's ride down this way! Let's drive up this wall!
Don't forget your hand signals!
And, let's see. Got to the skates yet? Oh, yeah, here we go. We're getting to the skates.
Yeah, there's the skates. The skates are ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't know they were going to fight Mr. Freeze. And they just had ice skates in their boots. That's a planner.
Yeah.
Yeah, because think about that. I mean, they don't know they're fighting anybody until Gordon tells them in the car.
That's right. They have no idea, but they just happen to have that in... I mean, like, what else do they have in the same boots? Like rockets that come out the bag?
Yeah, I mean, what if they were fighting Scarecrow in this movie? And then they had ice skates in their boots.
Well, they wouldn't be useful. I think it's also silly that they have those, like, you know, anti-ice suits that happen to be the same color as ice, but they're anti-ice suits at the end.
Yeah.
And it's like, why didn't you put that on the very next time you fought Mr. Freeze? Why aren't you wearing them the whole movie?
Yeah. You know what? I had held out hopes. When this film was coming out, it was beginning to look bad and bad and bad. I mean, there were some things that looked good, like, oh, you know, that costume design looks pretty good. Oh, Schwarzenegger and Uma Thurman, that sounds okay. Oh, they're going to stick with the animated version of the origin. It's like, okay, maybe this might be not terrible. Maybe I was hoping this would at least be as good as Batman Forever. And I think at this point in the movie, I'd kind of like given up hope on that.
I think at this point in the movie, people were leaving the theater. Well,
let me tell you, when I went to see both of these in the theater, I went to see Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. And I was going to save this until we got to the end, but I'll mention it to you now. When I saw Batman Forever, when it ended, I mean, the very end when, you know, Batman and Robin like run, you know, past the light and stuff like that, there was like applause. People loved it. And I'm not kidding. At the end of this one, when Batman, Robin, and Batgirl like run up in the same exact motif, like this film begins and ends the same exact way. I don't know if that was laziness or design, or maybe a little bit both. But I swear to God, I heard this in the theater. Somebody thought they'd, you know, applaud too, and then realized they were the only ones and got embarrassed.
That's awesome.
I love that moment.
That's really funny.
Yeah. The only thing that kept me in this movie, the only reason I stayed in the theater the entire time is because of my fanboy hate. It's one of the only times fanboy hate got me to watch a terrible movie.
I saw this when I was like 12, 13.
Yeah.
And, cause keep in mind, this only came out, 2 years after Forever.
Yeah.
And I mean, they put it out fast. And so, you know, I was in a similar mindset as I was with Forever. And I didn't like it then. I mean, like, I didn't despise it as hard as people do now just cause, well, it was Batman. Mm-hmm. But like, I didn't like it then.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing I hate most about this movie, and I think a lot of fanboys, a lot of fans, and casual critics, I think they sometimes get what's bad about this film slightly wrong. It's not because it's more fun or more family friendly, which Schumacher defends a lot. Like, you know, I was trying to make a more family friendly film, so sue me. It's like, no, it's not bad because it's not what Nolan did. It's not dark. I'm fine with a more lighthearted Batman. I mean, keep in mind, my first exposure to Batman was Adam West.
Yeah, and you still like Adam West.
Yeah, and there's still a little bit of that kind of design of Batman in my DNA when I read Batman and when I watch Batman. There's still a little bit in that in my head. What I have a problem with is this film, you can feel the marketing all through it. You can feel that everything was designed to be toys, everything was designed to be merchandise, everything was designed just by it was the tail wagging the dog. It wasn't like things merchandising what was in the film, it was the merchandising making a film. And Chris O'Donnell even said that, you know, he felt like he was making a toy commercial, not a movie.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's very cynical, and this film is very lazy. I mean, there is no, you know, I was listening to, before we watched this, I watched the behind the scenes, and A.F. Golden was talking about, you know, what he thinks about Batman and stuff like that. I don't know what character he's talking about, because that's not in the movie. I mean,
it's really funny if you started actually talking about the character, because he's not here.
Yeah, I don't know what, you know, whenever I listen to Goldman talk about his 2 Batman scripts, I don't know what movies he made, because they're not on screen. It's like, gee, it'd be neat to see one of those movies you're talking about.
I always think that when producers and writers say things like that, they're saying it all well after the fact when they've heard all the criticism.
Yeah. And
it's really easy to retroactively go, no, this is what it's about.
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't hate this sequence as much, except for the cowabunga line.
One of the
things that's bad for Ninja Turtles.
One of the things that always drove me crazy about this one is, and this is something I brought up when I did my rewind on it, that I had never really heard anybody else say before, and kind of wondered why. I think people probably just like hated it so much for the camp that they didn't even think any further than the camp, and fair enough, I guess, but I always thought it was bizarre that they felt the need to like in a very cookie cutter way use the exact same plot from the last one.
Oh, they did, yes. I mean,
it's the same movie.
It is.
Only a lot worse. Like they found a formula. So I mean, you said you don't hate this opening scene. This opening scene has great production values, but it's the same as the Batman versus Two-Face scene in Forever.
No. I didn't say I didn't hate this opening scene. I just didn't hate that sequence jumping out of the rocket.
Oh, I see.
Everything else I do hate. I hate this part with Robin getting frozen. I hate that whole ice rink, Disney on Ice sequence that we saw earlier. Yeah. I mean, that was Disney on Ice. I mean, I'm surprised we didn't see Jasmine out there fighting.
A whole new world! One of the things that people always say about this film is that it's bad because it's silly and I think that people get it in their head sometimes with this movie that it's. You said it was lazy, and I agree with you. But I think some people think that it looks as bad as the script is, and it doesn't. That's one of the things that's frustrating about it for me is that they spent this much money on this bad of a movie.
Yeah.
I just think there's a distinction to make there. It's that the production values are good. That's part of why it's such a bad film.
Yeah. I mean, I want you to watch the credits and look how many people it took to make something terrible.
That's right.
Look how much hard work went into making a bucket of vomit with nipples on it.
Because
that's what this film is.
Yeah, because it's not fair to the set designers and some of the prop people and people like that who probably did the best job they knew how to do on something like this.
Yeah, I mean this shot of the laboratory in the jungle, I think, looks great. I mean, that's beautiful. Yeah. See, I have no problem with a Batman movie looking like this. None. I don't either. And I'm hoping the post-Nolan Batman films are fun. Especially after Dark Knight Rises, we need a little levity.
I agree with you.
But not
100%.
But not stupid, lazy levity that does not respect the source material whatsoever or the characters. And that's what this film does. It almost feels like it was written by the heads of the studio and not really the people who made the movie. I mean, it doesn't feel like they tried at all. It's like,
I agree with you. I always try to be objective enough to run with a film's premise for as long as I can run with it until I realize that it's not competent. And that means that even if it's something like Batman that I already have, preconceptions and a stake in what version they do, if they're not going to do my version, I'm still going to try to give them the benefit of the doubt as long as I can. So, yeah. If they want to make a, dare I say, in 1997, 1998, they want to make a, dare I say, campy Batman film, I'm not sure that makes a lot of sense from a marketing standpoint, but if it's funny and it's clever, I'll run with it.
Well, campy
and this isn't.
Yeah, well, campy,
that's the problem.
There are differences between camp and lighthearted, I mean, one can say the Avengers movie is fairly lighthearted.
Yeah, it's not campy.
It's not campy. Campy, I think... Actually, campy is not a particular style of humor that I enjoy, because I do think, to use the word again, I do think it's a lazy form of humor. Like, oh, hey, look at this, wink, wink, isn't this stupid? Well, yeah, okay, it is stupid. Why should I even care? Where a more lighthearted adventure stuff, like the the Captain America movie. I mean, Captain America isn't like,
it's not super
campy.
serious.
It's not campy. It has levels of darkness and danger to it in an all-around fun movie. And I would love a Batman movie to be like that. But this movie just doesn't understand how to be that way. And it doesn't care. And we're watching a film made by, look at Bane right there. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. There's no substance of any kind, and not just story substance, but I mean, like, it thinks it's a comedy, but nothing's funny.
Yeah.
Nothing's funny. I mean, it's the only things that are funny are the things that they might have thought were serious that don't work.
Well, the things that do have some sort of like weight to them in this movie only come from the source material. The backstory for Mr. Freeze, the backstory for Poison Ivy,
and they don't play in this world at all.
No, they don't. They're not paid attention to.
So they don't even have weight anymore because there's nothing to support them.
No. And you know what I was thinking might be interesting?
It's like a 400-pound guy like Bane, well, walking down a rickety bridge. There's nothing to support this movie.
Yeah. You know what might have been interesting if Schwarzenegger had played a smart Bane?
Oh yeah, he could have done that.
The really menacing, evil, you have my permission to die, Bane.
Why do you need a bodybuilder to play Mr. Freeze?
I don't know.
The answer is you don't.
Yeah,
because
who was the first choice?
I thought it was Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, it was Patrick Stewart.
And he turned it down because he saw what they were doing.
Because he can read. Because he read that script. It's like,
now, I'm not convinced he read the script because I'm not convinced that they didn't write all of Schwarzenegger's lines after they knew they had Schwarzenegger. I really doubt that character would have been quite as one-liney as he was if it weren't for Schwarzenegger.
Oh, no.
And I don't blame Schwarzenegger. He was just doing his job and cashing his paycheck, and fair enough. But Schwarzenegger is known for one-liners.
Yeah. Oh, hey, let's switch over to this scene right here between John Glover and Uma Thurman.
By the way, I love John Glover.
I love John Glover too, and he's terrible in this movie.
Yeah, but
right here, where he goes, "You have to die!" Ah! It's like,
yeah.
Oh my god.
But that's directing.
Down to like 6, okay?
Yeah, but that's directing. He was asked to do that.
Yeah, he was.
He's talked in interviews a lot where he says, "Well, Schumacher kept yelling before a take. Remember, friends, it's a cartoon."
Yeah. Yeah, like, ah! It's like, you know what? There are subtle cartoons, Joel. I mean, not every cartoon. Even in the 90s, we were seeing, I mean, Batman, Batman cartoon, the one you're basing half of this movie on.
That's a great point.
Is a subtle cartoon with moments of, like, drama and subtlety. I mean,
if it's got to be a comedy cartoon, could we at least try to go for the level of, I don't know, Pinky and the Brain?
Yeah, and here's the thing that I always get irritated with when people say, "Oh, they were trying to do family-friendly stuff." The Batman animated cartoon is family-friendly.
There's also substance to it, and stories, and emotion, and characterizations that are interesting.
Yes, and you know what? You can put all the fun vehicles or whatever in it, as long as there's something there, and there's nothing there.
Well, Batman Forever was also family friendly, and obviously, we talked about all the problems we had with that movie, but we also said, I think you agreed with me that of the original 4, it was the one that was most about Batman.
It was, and that's amazing, actually, when you think about it.
Yeah, it is. But I'm just saying that they even got that there.
Yeah, and
that
actually,
it can be family friendly and still have some kind of dimension to it.
Yeah, and in the original cut, there was more Batman in it.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Would you? Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Before I do that, I want to mention that this is another example of a scene that was in Batman Forever, where they're looking at how the villain on video, no less, turned into the villain. There's so much of this, and of course, Poison Ivy is the Riddler in this movie.
Yes, she is.
She's super over the top, and she was already crazy before she became a villain, and she killed her boss.
Yes.
So that's all in there. Anyway, Here's my question.
Even her boss was played by an actor who was also in the animated series. I mean,
that's amazing.
These are almost the same films, except this one is worse.
And a lot worse. And that brings me to my question.
Yes.
Would you say that if this movie had never been made, or a better film had been made in its place, that Batman Forever would be better regarded now?
I think so.
I believe so.
I believe so, yes. Because I do feel, I think in the general public's reaction, it's very similar to the reaction I've had, where it did cast a big shadow on the previous film, Batman Forever, where it has damaged that film's reputation.
I think a lot of people, when they talk about Batman Forever, they're actually talking about Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
I think some of that is there. Now, I understand people's problems and grievances with that movie, but I think that sometimes people will actually talk about that movie and they meant Batman and Robin.
Yeah. Yeah. And,
well, they're directed by the same guy, and there's still nipples on the Batsuit.
And you know what? I don't mind.
That's what people go to. They make a big deal out of that. And again, I don't care about those sorts of aesthetics if the script's good.
That's true. You know, if the scripts were like Christopher Nolan good, then I could have excused the nipples, even though it's stupid to look at. And also,
had a Nolan script, I could have dealt with like peacock wings on the like a peacock tail on the back of the Batsuit.
Yeah.
With like a hole in the cape so that it sticks out the back.
I know. Oh. And then, of course, this character is actually from the comics, too. He is the guy who did create Poison Ivy's.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
John Glover?
Yeah, this character, yeah. I mean, I think he's shared the same fate. I mean, hey, is Poison Ivy still... This is a little off topic. Is Poison Ivy still an anti-hero in DC 52? Or is she finally gone back to being a villain?
You know, I haven't seen her anywhere yet.
That's one of the things I didn't care much for. It's like, you know what? I'm sorry. She's done too much. She's too horrible of a person to just simply switch back like that.
Although I will say that just before New 52, they at least took her back to totally being vilified in Gotham City Sirens.
Yeah, I noticed that.
That was good.
Ivy's a monster. I mean,
she is a monster.
She hates people as much. She hates people as much as Joker does.
Yeah.
If not, maybe more.
I think Sirens did a really good job of bringing her back to what she was.
Yeah. Oh. But, yeah, and then, yeah.
There's just some of these scenes where it's hard not to just kind of sit in horror and not say anything amusing.
It is kind of like a train wreck, like watching this.
One thing that kind of infuriates me, I just thought of this, is that the running time on this movie is 2 hours, Manos.
Ugh.
And how many really good movies have you watched before that were shorter than they should have been, and you wish that this film could give some of its time to those?
This would be a good trailer. I think that's what they should have done.
Well, in fact, it's funny you should mention that. I got a friend of mine found a fan edit of this at one point, and it's unfortunately I don't know where you can get it now because the internet has kind of cracked down on fan edits and it's hard to get a lot of them now. Yeah. But there was this fan edit of this film called Batman and Robin De-Assified. And what the guy did was he took out every really, really stupid subplot and like every ice pun and all that kind of stuff. He took out this Snowy Cone's ice cream scene.
Oh, God.
He took out everything like that. Manos, the film was like 40 minutes long.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I watched it just to see what he did with it, and it's a really interesting edit. But and it would have worked, except that he didn't have anything else he could put back into it.
Commercials.
Yeah, that would have been great. I mean, really, all that was there at that point pretty much was. I mean, he even took out Alfred being sick because of the ending. Because Like, that subplot really is actually the best thing this film has going for it, except that it ends wrong.
Hey, wait. We're missing Vivica A. Fox's performance.
Oh, sorry.
Hold on.
Is that who that was?
Yeah.
I thought that was a cartoon.
No, she shows up for 5 seconds to say something to him. And then she disappears. I don't think she comes back in this film. Bye!
Once again, Manos, this is Batman Forever all over again.
I know. Well, I mean, at least you saw Drew Barrymore and What's-Her-Face, like, 2 or 3 times. Okay, so everything about Mr. Freeze is reviving his wife, and he also has a girlfriend.
And he smokes a cigar?
Yeah.
I never noticed that before. Mr. Freeze smoking a cigar is kind of the stupidest thing ever.
Yeah, although, when I think about it, in real life, Schwarzenegger's dream would be to have his wife frozen while he, dates other people.
But yeah, you're absolutely right.
I think that'd be a dream come true for him.
This is a textbook example of somebody taking somebody else's really good idea and not understanding it and putting it with a bunch of really bad ideas.
It is, because he's supposed to be humorless and emotionless. That's not like a physical trait; it's like a mental state.
It is, yeah.
And he constantly laughs and makes jokes and watches cartoons.
Mr. Freeze is supposed to, or at least this version, because this is the animated series version, is supposed to hate the world for what the world did to his wife, and he wants everyone to feel as cold as he does.
Yeah.
And that's where the Freeze analogy works. That's where it goes from pun to being a good analogy. The idea of being actually cold-hearted, and he's wearing it on the outside. That's not the goofy kind of ice pun stuff that he's got in this.
Yeah. And here comes...
That's what this film is missing. But yeah, to have him having a girlfriend...
Yeah.
Completely, besides everything else this film does that takes it away, like everything we just talked about, completely takes away any sympathy we're supposed to have for him.
Yeah, and so for what purpose? For Vivica A. Fox to get a small paycheck? Yeah, thank you.
Or possibly a bigger paycheck than anyone else you would have cast in that role?
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, that's true. If you just cast some random actress, yeah, she would have probably gotten $500.
Yeah, that's where the money of this movie is going.
Yeah, now, here we go. Hello.
Now we get a Brit that sounds like she grew up next door to me.
Hello, Alicia Silverstone. Is she really supposed to be from England?
She is. She's supposed to be from England and grew up there and was there the whole...
Okay. I thought that she was, like, from America and maybe summered in England.
That's what I used to think, but... Watching this again, I'm pretty positive that she. Well, maybe we're not explicitly told, but I mean, I thought the idea was that she.
Oh wait! I think I'm getting the parents were killed in a car accident 5 years ago.
Okay, was it in England? Was it in England?
Hold on, yeah, I think so.
But she doesn't say. That's her whole backstory.
Yeah,
there it is. See, we don't really know.
And, even if she, lived in both America and England, there should be some kind of accent. Oh, I mean, nothing.
Well, here's the thing. She's going to Oxbridge Academy, and I'm pretty sure she's in high school.
Yeah. I think she's in the Gryffindor school.
She should have an accent, Manos.
I know.
And honestly, I mean, we're splitting hairs. I've read that they asked her to do an accent and she couldn't do it, so they just said, "Oh, whatever, we want this actress anyway."
Yeah, it's like, we couldn't possibly find a British actress.
By the way, this is another thing that is stolen right from the movie they made before this, which is if we add a sidekick, they must know how to ride motorcycles. And I think that knowing everything about motorcycles is a prerequisite.
Yes.
For being in the Batcave.
Yeah, and also she can fight. Basically, the Batman has, a charmed life in the movies because his sidekicks come pre-trained.
Yep, all of them.
Yeah, he doesn't have to train anybody.
Well, luckily...
He doesn't even make them the suit. Alfred makes them the suit with computers or something.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, luckily he lives in a world where everything important that happens to him can be summed up in a couple of hours.
Yeah, no kidding.
And actually not just summed up. I think that his whole life is like 4 2-hour films.
Yes. Ugh. I hate the thought of that. Oh, then of course we get into the where we're dealing with what's supposed to be the drama part of this movie.
Yep.
I don't know. All the stuff with Alfred should be better, but it just to me falls flat because it's just at this point it's too stupid to even like care about like the not stupid parts.
That's right, and keep in mind what we said about how he and Val Kilmer instantly seem to have known each other for years in Batman Forever. He doesn't have that with Clooney. He's acting by himself this whole movie.
Yeah.
Which tells you how good of an actor Michael Gough is, because he's got no chemistry with any of these people, and it's all their fault. It's not his. I mean, you can tell he's got to pretend like somebody else is across the aisle from him.
Yeah, it's you know that scene in Generations. That really terrible scene where you may disagree, but I hate the scene where he tells Troy, Captain Picard tells Troy about his grandson dying. I think it is.
No, not his grandson. He was never married. That's part of the point of that movie.
No, not his grandson. Not his grandson.
But his nephew. His nephew.
Died.
Yeah. Rene Picard.
And what was really upsetting him was the Picard name was not going to continue.
Right.
That's a terrible scene. But he acts the heck out of it.
Yeah, he does.
I mean,
and you get the sense that he doesn't even like that scene, but he's doing his job, you know? Like,
yeah, I mean, he's selling it. And we're watching Michael here.
It's also funny that he has a scrapbook.
Yeah, I know. We're watching Michael, like, do a whole movie of that.
That's right. That's exactly right. He's got no big
material is awful, but I'm going to sell it.
Yeah, at least Picard got to act with Shatner in some scenes.
Yeah, at least not every scene in Generations is horrible.
No. Overall, it's not great, but there's some good scenes in it. This movie doesn't have that. We're comparing this to Generations. Can we compare it to, like, Nemesis or Final Frontier or, you know?
This makes Generations look like Metropolis.
I wouldn't go that far. I was going to say Voyage Home, but Bane's wearing a hat.
Yeah, he's disguised.
Oh, I remember when I watched this with my wife once. I don't know why we did that, but I watched this with my wife once, and she said, I think it was her that said this. She said, "Hey, he's a Ninja Turtle." Because he's trying to disguise an obviously not normal looking face with a hat and a trench coat.
Yeah. I mean, can he just... Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, look, another Batman Forever scene. We're out in the middle of, like, a public gala thing where the bad guy is going to reveal him or herself to Bruce Wayne and be angry.
Yeah. Then we have Elle Macpherson's first appearance, I think, in this movie, as girlfriend number 4.
Yep, that's right. And that's what they should have called her in the credits, girlfriend number 4.
Yeah, it's like, would have made any difference, really.
I did say when I reviewed this that one thing an idea I liked, and I'm not saying that it's good in this because it's not done, nothing's done with it, but I like the idea of Bruce Wayne having a girlfriend before the film starts.
Yeah, that's actually, here's one of the things I don't hate about the film, is the way the girlfriend is treated. I mean, Batman's had a string of like public persona girlfriends, that are just kind of there to, you know, pursue this image of a playboy and stuff like that he really doesn't have any real sincere feelings for. Which, when you think about it, kind of makes him look like a jerk because he's just using these people. Yeah. But, yeah, she's at the beginning and she doesn't learn who Batman is, and they don't really have any real relationship. Although I think later in the film, I think there's a small scene where they're trying to make it look like they have one, but
yeah,
obviously they don't.
Yeah, that's what's so ridiculous about it is that he's got this place where he's like, oh man, I might want to like, you know, permanently be with this person. And I'm like, well, first of all, that didn't work the other 3 films. Second of all, I don't even know who she is.
Yeah. I mean, do you know? I mean, I wish they had played with that a little bit more.
Sure.
As a joke. I mean, like, yeah, here's just a girl. He's pretending he's in love with.
Well, and it's interesting that he's got a girlfriend while in the middle of this really stupid fake love triangle with him and Robin and Ivy, with no discussion whatsoever of the fact that he has a girlfriend while he is half pursuing her.
True, I know. Well, yeah, that's never mentioned. But
But of course, all that's really there just to, have scenes. Yeah. I mean, really, I know that sounds silly, but there's no story in this film. Yeah, so they go, okay, well, we got poison ivy, so what are we gonna do? Love potion. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, like, that's, like, the biggest low of this film. I mean, I think the biggest blow is that not only is there no story in this film, but it's gotta be characters acting out of character for at least a quarter of the film.
Oh, I know.
And you know how much I hate that already.
I know, and, I was just...
Anyway. You know, Manos, I think we could have gotten away with this entire review just us going, ugh.
It could have been the
commentary, rather.
Oh, well, yeah, sorry. And, I'm still here!
I love that Batman's just totally okay with doing public appearances.
I know. Can you imagine, like, Christian Bale's Batman doing that?
Was that them just going, well, no, we're doing the Adam West version. That's another thing that I think is very unfair. Not unfair to the film, but unfair to the Adam West Batman. That people will say, the problem with Batman and Robin is it's too much like Adam West. I'm like, no, it's not.
It's a dumb version of the Adam West show. I mean, the Adam West version is still watchable. It's still enjoyable.
I get why certain people don't like it. But look, this is not that show.
But that's a taste issue of Batman. This is actually a quality issue.
Exactly. Absolutely it is. Because again, that show, you can call it farce, you can call it, some people say it's parody, I don't think it really is, but whatever you want to call it, it's at least clever.
Yeah. Yes.
There's real, actual comedy in that.
Well, don't forget what comic books were like during that time.
That's why I say it's not really parody.
Yeah, I mean, the kids grow up, in the 40s and especially the 50s, which was, the extra stupid period of superheroes.
Oh yeah, that was Space Batman.
Yeah, that was the dumbest period ever was the 50s.
I think Zebra Batman was in the 50s.
Oh, I know. Where was I going with this? Yeah, I mean that was. I think there was a general fondness for the characters. In the Adam West series, and also it was that time. I don't know, just that period in the '60s. They just really enjoyed that kind of humor and stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
But this was not made by people who cared. I mean. I may repeat this a lot, but I mean, this
you
is
called
not
it cynical. I think the best way to say it is you called this movie cynical, and the Adam West show was nothing if not optimistic.
Yeah, this movie is constantly like saying, "Hey, how stupid this is! Aren't we more clever?" Like, well, wait, you're the movie.
This is the
judge of this material. You're the movie.
So Schumacher, in both of his movies, feels the need to have, well, maybe I can't blame the director, maybe it's the fault of the composer, feels the need to have the theme of his movie be played at a party. Why does everyone know this song?
I don't know. But, anyway, yeah. Yeah, by the way, here's, Batman and Robin here at the, hey, here's my impression of the Christian Bale Batman, in this scene.
Oh, all right. Go ahead.
How much have I bid? Who bids for it? Like, okay, you take our money. Hey, here's an actual kind of clever cinematic reference. There's actually there's a Marlene Dietrich film where Marlene Dietrich appears in a performance in an ape suit. And, there's a bunch of people like in, a nightclub and, there's people dressed up as natives and people in ape suits, running around. And then one of them stops and takes off the head and it's Marlene Dietrich and she starts into a song. And this is a reference to that. And that's probably the only cinematic clever reference in this movie.
And I don't know why it's there.
Because Schumacher liked it. I guess he had I guess he had a moment. Hey, there's some nipples on a female costume.
Yeah,
I became suit.
I actually, the last time I saw this, which I think was probably when I reviewed it 3 years ago, I actually thought about that. I was like, wow, I'm actually a little surprised they got away with that.
Yeah. And then here's the Poison Ivy song. Hey, this soundtrack isn't as good as the Batman Forever soundtrack too.
No, you were telling me that when we were talking about the Batman Forever soundtrack, and I remembered it being okay, but I haven't heard it in a long time. So
no, it's not okay. It's the only good song is the Smashing Pumpkins song,
which is one of my favorite songs ever.
Yeah, and the fast version and the slow version are good.
Yeah, I know, it's so cool, and they have alternate titles. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did.
One is called "The Beginning is the End is the beginning," and then the other one is "The End is the beginning is the end."
Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you, Billy Corgan, for making music confusing. But you know what, Peter?
Yeah, and then Zack Snyder came along and made that song cool again.
Yeah, he attaches the Watchmen. Thank you, Zack Snyder.
I know, which I would say is maybe. Well, first of all, I didn't even know the slow version existed until I heard that. Until I saw the trailer.
The slow version is on the soundtrack.
See, I didn't remember that.
Yeah, it's at the end. Ha ha.
Oh, I gotcha. But
Get it?
I think that's maybe one of the best trailers I've ever seen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're getting up to the
Oh, Batman and Robin. Oh, okay.
We're getting up to the credit card scene. Ugh.
Now, I gotta say this. I want to talk about the credit card
crap
thing.
In my face. You're obviously doing something evil.
I want to mention the credit card thing because I understand why people have this. I mean, like to mention how extremely ridiculous that is, and it is.
Yes.
No. It is without a doubt. But people have this vehement hatred, like there's nothing else in this movie quite as bad as that.
Yeah.
And I just don't agree with that.
I'm one of those people.
Oh, you're one of those people. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's the end. I mean,
all right.
I was kind of hoping it would get better.
A movie jumps the shark before there's a shark to jump. I think you have to expect anything.
The shark is dead at this point. But I remember I was telling you during the ice skating scene, I was like, oh, this is not going to be good. And at least I was hoping maybe it'll get better, And then when he pops out that credit card, it was like, you know what? This ain't going to get better. This is going to be a pain parade.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, fair enough. I'm surprised that that's the thing it's remembered for.
Well, first off, it's a stupid joke, and it's kind of a dated joke even back then. It's like, yeah, ha ha ha, don't leave home without it. And by the way, it says forever on it.
It says good through forever.
Through forever, ha ha. And it's like, well, wait, was, how does that work? How does that card work? Does he have a separate account? Can people trace that? I mean...
Yeah, no, I know.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
But again, we already know thinking in this movie is a bad idea. I mean, how is that any worse than... Well, I guess I'm just always thinking story stuff. I mean, it's just how is that any worse than Mr. Freeze has a girlfriend?
That is also another example. But I think the card is worse.
Wow, all right.
But, I mean, the girlfriend...
I'm not taking up for the card. I'm just saying that I think there are 12 things as bad as the card.
I think the card is number one in the top 12.
That's fair. I don't want to argue about it.
I would say the girlfriend is in that top 12, and
all right.
I would put it in the top 5 of the things that are wrong.
I think we should make a list as we watch the film. I think the Batmobile having one seat is in that list.
Yeah. Oh, the Batmobile. And you know what's? Woo! How is he swinging? He weighs 8,000 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah, if I had never thought, hey, that guy's on wires before.
Yeah. Oh man, guys in Hong Kong films aren't obviously on wires as much as that was. Oh, wait, and here we go. then she tries to like romance him, and he has obviously no feelings and emotions, so it didn't work on him.
Yeah, except he does have feelings and emotions because he makes people sing Christmas songs.
Yeah, and he laughs. It's like, whoa. You can't play this, you can't play hard and fast with the rules, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Well, okay, two things. First of all, there are no rules. And the second thing is, they don't give you enough context to even argue it.
Yeah.
Is it because he doesn't have emotions, or is it because he's frozen?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know. It's ridiculous.
It is. It does go back and forth, like what's supposed to be and what. I mean,
I wanted to mention because we got past the scene already. That he not only, because we haven't talked anything about ice puns, and that's the other thing besides the credit card that people do not even begin to forgive this movie for. That he has like 100 ice puns. Not only is he making puns about ice, but Poison Ivy doesn't make puns about plants as often as Mr. Freeze does.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, she doesn't. You'd think,
his motif isn't ice, it's puns!
Yeah. Yeah, maybe he should have been the pun master.
The icy pun master!
Or the Punisher.
The pun fisher!
Pun fisher. He could be in a fishing man suit and a gun.
I would like to have that Gotham snow globe.
That is nice.
That is cool. I would put that somewhere.
What do you think about that gigantic statue that's in the middle of, Gotham City? Look at that thing. I
think Bane's the most quotable character in this whole movie.
Yeah.
Monkey work.
Oh, man.
And I don't mean that his lines are good. I mean that they're memorable.
Yeah. And you know what? Actually, the two film Banes do have some things in common.
I know, it's so funny. They both work for a woman.
Yep.
They both have a thing for bombs.
Yep.
What else?
They're both easily defeatable with that thing attached to their face.
Oh, yep, that's true.
And later in this film, Robin and Batgirl kick his hose off, and he instantly deflates, and at the end of Rises, Batman just punches him in the face, and he kind of falls down. He practically deflates there. It's like, man, you gotta cover up that vulnerability a little bit better, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that was all really coincidental, but I mean, I don't know, if it had been me, I would have been trying really hard to make sure that nobody was thinking Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
And now, to be fair, I wasn't thinking it when I saw the film, but I mean, later on, I was like, wait a minute. In fact, I think somebody even had to mention it to me before I thought about it, and then I was like, oh my god, you're right. They do have things in common, but I mean, it's funny more than it's a problem.
Yeah, keep that in mind. I can't understand how this Batmobile jumps at all. I mean, it looks like it can't. Look at that thing.
I don't understand how it drives around on statues that are curvy.
Yeah, I mean, that thing cannot
you can't knock
go
it over.
Around a curve. Yeah, destroy it. No, you know what it bugs me? I hate that Batmobile, and it's the only one that doesn't get destroyed.
Oh, that's a good point.
I mean, at least the Tim Burton one got mangled, but it didn't get destroyed. Although, I don't know, I guess it got rebuilt into the Forever one or something.
Well, and even the Batman Returns Batmobile is slightly alterated.
Yeah.
Altered.
Yeah, and then the Nolan one, gets blown up. It's like, well, great. The ugliest, stupidest, worst one is totally fine.
Yeah, that's right. And the one that looks like it could take no kind of beating the most.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have a roof.
I mean, the Nolan film, I don't know. It's weird to compare these because they're entirely different things. But I mean, the Nolan film, well, we don't have anything better to do, so why not? Nolan film, they had a tank and it blew up.
I know. And also, in the beginning when you see it start up and you see that engine rotate and stuff like that, it's like, you could throw a broom in there and it probably mess the whole thing up.
You could throw an egg salad in there.
Man. All right. Where are we in this thing? We are going back to Alfred's dying.
Yeah, we got to go back to the only plot that's in the film.
Yeah. And you know what? You're right when you did the review of this, that this should have been a little more central to the film. And you know what? Do you think if scooping out Poison Ivy's plot would have made this a little more focused. Now, I've often thought about that with Batman Returns, that if it was just Catwoman, we've had a better focused plot, and I feel like that with this film too. Like, this film could have handled just Mr. Freeze.
I mean, there are definitely things I like about that Penguin, besides the fact that he seems to have about 14 different plots all going on at the same time.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're absolutely right. If Penguin hadn't been in that film, you could have had Max Schreck being kind of your, like, street level villain.
Yeah, he would have been the main kind of villain, and then we would have had sort of this three-way war between him, Catwoman, and Batman.
Yeah. And that, we already kind of had that. In fact, when I reviewed that movie, my biggest complaint about the whole Max Schreck thing was he had the most focused villain plot, and it wasn't touched on again after they mentioned it. I mean, like, he had this whole plan to, like, siphon all of Gotham's energy really slowly into a power plant. I was like, that's a comic book worthy villain plot. Where's that? What happened to that?
I know, and that's my biggest problem with Returns is I really do think it would have benefited just removing the Penguin and just trusting that the Catwoman plot would have, like, you know, everyone was excited to see another Batman movie, and people loved Catwoman from the old show, and, you know, Michelle Pfeiffer was a popular actress in, you know, 92. I think they should have trusted it. And I don't know. It also goes to the fact that I'm not a big Penguin fan anyway. He's always been one of my least favorite Batman villains.
Mine too, and yet I still, you know, have a place in my heart for the traditional Penguin.
Well, me too, but he's always the worst villain in any incarnation of Batman.
Well, name me a great Penguin story from, you know what I mean? Like, there aren't a lot. There are a couple here and there, but there aren't very many.
There aren't. Here we're going to more Robin and allegedly Batgirl.
And again, you know, I mean, I'm not giving this movie any props for doing this, but I mean, like, if you've got to have both of them having the same kind of hobby, at least do some kind of an arc where you're kind of paralleling the characters.
Here's Arkham Asylum again.
Again, Arkham looks great.
Yeah.
Look at it. Looks great.
And that's another thing about the Schumacher films. I get to see Arkham Asylum. We didn't see him in Tim Burton's movies because those villains got killed. They didn't get to go to Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, and if anybody should have been thrown in Arkham Asylum, it was Penguin.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, I like his death scene, but
his death scene's actually surprisingly good. It's actually one of my favorite things he does in the movie.
Yeah, me too. Because it's weird and creepy. I mean, it's one of those things that Tim Burton does the best.
Yeah, and well, actually,
I also love the idea of penguins with rockets strapped on their backs.
I mean, that's comedy gold.
It is. No, it is. It's great.
I mean, those penguins with the rockets on their backs are funnier than anything Schwarzenegger says in this movie.
That's great. Not only is that a great point, but it's a great way to segue this from us not spending the whole time talking about Batman Returns.
Yeah, that's true. Here's Freeze choking. Like, okay, he can't even get out of... this is kind of nice. I like this.
I like watching this Mr. Freeze I can't stand choking and almost dying.
Yeah, this actually kind of makes me feel good.
Well, and again, production values, the makeup job there is great.
I mean, I am now feeling what I think they want me to feel when he's telling jokes.
You know, when they, when they have this whole silly thing about, like, you can't live outside the cold zone. By the way, who talks like that? You can't live outside the cold zone. I'm just some, like, lowly prison guard, but I talk like that. I couldn't help but be reminded of the 60s Batman episode with, there's Bane in a trench coat again. He does look like a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah. And that hose. I mean, come on.
Look at that thing. But anyway, do you remember
Jessica
that episode?
Fletcher could beat him up. They just pull that hose out.
Do you remember that 60s Batman episode where the big trap they were in was a Mr. Freeze trap, and it was there were like red squares and blue squares on the floor?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm always reminded of that with the whole cold zone thing. hey, look, it's these guys again.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same gang or not.
I think it is supposed to be the same gang, the Neon Gang. I will credit like Schumacher trying to kind of have he tried to have a cohesive universe to his version of Batman.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Hey, good for you. You're not doing it well, but you're trying. And yeah, I totally forgot this sequence. Neon chains. I don't know why I forgot about the neon chains.
I love that Bane just has like a button in the front that you press. Can you believe the cartoon sound effects, by the way?
I know. That's another thing I hate about camp is cartoon.
Can you believe they went that far?
Yeah. Oh, I believe it. Well, I mean, actually, in Batman Forever, they did it subtly here and there.
It wasn't like that, though. It wasn't
bad.
It wasn't a slide whistle. It was like...
Yeah, everything bad in Forever is worse in Batman and Robin.
I want to go to one of the Nolan films and just add slide whistles. Just see what that would be like.
Like the Talia Falster death.
Like imagine if you will, the really emotionally heavy scene where Bruce Wayne is being trained by Ra's al Ghul on the ice, and then he says, and then he says, you've sacrificed sure footing for a killing blow.
Yeah, because you know what? When you put cartoon sound effects in a film, you're just telling people, this is stupid, I don't care.
You're supposed to laugh, but it's not funny, so you probably won't. I mean, this movie might as well have had a laugh track.
Yeah. Oh, I totally... they could do that as an edit.
Yeah.
Like, grab the old Hanna-Barbera laugh track they used to have on Scooby-Doo and the Flintstones, and put it in on this.
That's right.
I could just hear it. It could work.
In fact, I think you could make it into a better movie. I think you add a laugh track and you put commercials in every, 12 minutes.
Yeah, commercials for Peppermint Patty.
Well, they would have to be...
I could use some apple pies.
They'd have to be 70s commercials.
Maybe.
At least.
70s, yeah.
If not 60s.
And you know what? Man, it bugs me how lighthearted and not dark he plays Batman, but he's constantly dressed in black. It's like, man, you look like you're about to be cool, and then
here's that scene we're talking about where we got this girl who's, I guess, he's in a serious relationship with.
It would have been a lot more interesting, I think, if they had played the relationship and I don't really care about her. I mean, he doesn't, because here's Poison Ivy right here.
Yeah, but that's only because he's not himself right now, because it's one of those movies.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I hate that.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
he might as well be possessed by an Organian.
That's true.
Well, actually, if he was possessed by an Organian, it'd be a better movie, but...
That would be a great movie.
What? If the Organian showed up to show Batman how to, make peace without doing violence?
Hey, here's a quick,
That would be the weirdest movie ever. And then Batman has to show the Organians that, no, ninja skills are the only way.
Here's a quick fun, trivia, piece. Do you know who was originally cast as Poison Ivy in this film?
No, I don't know that.
Julia Roberts.
Really?
Yeah. I remember...
I think it would have been the same movie.
Well, I don't know. Probably wouldn't have been any different, because she...
That's what I mean.
Because Julia Roberts can't play a villain to save her life.
Mm-mm.
And I've noticed there's a weird cycle in these 90s Batman films where there was a lead actress cast and then recast before the film started.
That's right. It happened with Vicky Vale.
It started with Vicky Vale with Sean Young, and then she broke her leg and had to be recast as Kim Basinger. And Batman Returns... Which was
pretty good for Kim Basinger's career.
Yeah, that's true. Which is unfortunate. I think Sean Young is a better actress. But
I don't think I've seen her or anything. I actually like Kim Basinger quite a bit.
I like Kim Basinger, but I don't think she's that great. Is
this that scene with Coolio? Yeah, there he is. Isn't that
Oh,
weird?
hey, Coolio was an episode of Gravity Falls just recently. That
Really?
cartoon I
Was
was
it?
telling you about.
Yeah, cool.
Uh, I know you don't want to get into this, but he had a cameo in a episode of Gravity Falls where there was a haunted wax museum where the characters were coming alive. And they were like the traditional historical figures, and then Coolio.
Oh, that's hilarious. He played himself?
He played himself, yeah. And Larry King was there too.
I actually don't hate Coolio. I don't. No, I don't. I mean, I've seen him in some things. I thought he was okay.
Yeah, he was fine.
He's not a bad actor. He was fine in his parts that got cut out of Daredevil.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Okay, and what were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about casting. Do you know who was cast as Catwoman originally?
I don't remember. I did know about that one, but I forget who it was.
Annette Bening.
Oh, okay.
And she got pregnant, so she couldn't do it.
Did that happen at all in Batman Forever?
I can't remember. I don't. I'd have to research that, but I feel like there was one. But I can't honestly say with Batman Forever if there was somebody cast before that chunk of firewood Nicole Kidman was cast. I wouldn't be surprised. And then actually, you can even make the case.
By the way, I hired her as my therapist, Manos. I did last week. I went to her office and she kept showing me ink blot tests, and I swear to God, they were all bats, all of them. And then she kept going, "No, it's whatever you want to see." And I'm like, "No, they're bats.
It has teeth on it. It's a bat.
Look at it. It's sleeping upside down." And then she got into an
says
argument
bat
about
in the
whether or
corner.
not it was actually sleeping.
Hey, wait, did those barrels have glitter in them?
Yeah, they have glitter and they have packing peanuts.
Oh, I guess this is the My Little Pony factory.
Why did they have glitter? They're just like, oh, that'll look really neat up in the air if we put glitter in
I saw
it.
glitter explode from those things.
Yeah, imagine if you will, if that scene in the '89 movie where the Batmobile goes in and blows up that chemical plant, and it's all glitter, like.
Yeah, that would have definitely taken the dramatic punch out of that scene.
Well, you know what though? It would have been smart because nobody would have been asking about why Batman was okay with killing all those people, because they'd just be complaining about the glitter.
Yeah.
So this scene is not interesting at all.
No, it's not. It's really dull.
It's just people riding around on motorcycles, and they're all wearing helmets. I don't know or care who any of them are.
Nope.
I know Batgirl's here someplace, and I don't like her, so I don't care about that either.
Yeah, I can't even tell who's supposed to be who. I mean, okay, I think that's her. It really says something. A bike chase where people might be getting hurt is supposed to be exciting, and we're bored. I'm bored. I mean, this is like Cirque du Soleil reenacting Akira. And it's not very good. Actually, that would be good. And yeah, I'm not excited. I mean, it's like, yeah, whatever. Whoa. By the way, I wouldn't want to be the person on the ground that motorcycle hits.
Yeah, watching this is like watching MC Hammer try to do a debate.
With Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, yes. I don't even know what that means.
About estate tax.
Yes, about state tax.
That would be a fantastic 2 hours.
Actually, I would watch that. I would watch that.
Let's see. But, Now we get back to, I guess,
it's about us learning more about her backstory.
That doesn't
we
matter.
Don't care. Yep. It's basically, okay, really, the only reason all this is here is just for us to kind of half buy that she would be capable of martial arts, and also to give her a reason to be Batgirl because she's that, like, typical cliched girl on the wrong side of the tracks. So she's got to put on a costume and be a superhero, so she's not like that. And, of course, she's also a computer genius, which really is not in her backstory.
Not yet. Although, I'm confusing her with Barbara Gordon, who is the actual Batgirl.
Right.
But, hey, no. Hey, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't get upset, because she's a composite.
Oh yeah, that makes it
She
okay.
is a composite. Don't get upset. I mean, her name's
sense.
Barbara, and her blonde hair is like Stephanie, and she rides a motorcycle like Cassandra Cain did once. So she's like all of them.
Okay, look. First of all, and you know, I used to think you knew everything, but clearly not, because Cassandra Cain didn't even exist yet. How dare you, sir?
But
I like how Batman is already getting gray hair.
Yeah.
Isn't it really? No, but really, isn't it interesting that we've got a universe that really doesn't seem to change much? I mean, like, I don't think that they're trying to have a Batman that's aging, really. Yeah. And when they recast it, they don't get somebody young enough to play the part.
I know. Well, I mean, like, Val Kilmer was younger, and then Clooney, I think, is a little older. And hey, here's the moment they tried to kind of rip off from the animated series, where Freeze is looking at this sculpture.
Yep.
And I think it's the closest they come to some kind of character for him. Oh.
Yeah, but I don't care because I've seen all that other. I mean, it's like all that other stuff we're supposed to forget about, except for when it's on screen, so that we can be entertained by it. It's like we're asked to turn our brain not off, but off and slightly on, and then off again.
Yeah. By the way, that green leotard is not really. I don't know. That doesn't look really.
8 Shades of Goofy.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah.
But the thing is, nobody was paying attention to the color of that because they were looking at her hair.
Mm-hmm.
Which is worse.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
Oh no, she shocked the pirate.
Shut up. We haven't talked about her much at all. Do you like Uma Thurman?
I love Uma Thurman.
Okay. Some people just don't even like her at all and don't think that she is even, like, attractive enough to play this part. I disagree. And I stand by something crazy I did a while back.
Okay.
I did a top 50 best casting choices for superhero films, and I put her at number 50. I did it.
Yeah.
And the reason I did it is because I don't think people can look past what this movie did. I think she's a good pick for Poison Ivy. I just don't think that they did her right.
When I heard she was going to play Poison Ivy, I got excited and thought, okay, maybe this movie might be pretty good. Because I know she's capable of playing, even before Kill Bill, I knew she was capable of playing, venomous characters and such. But I don't know who told her to play Mae West. I don't know whose idea. I don't know if that was her idea. But it was like, I know she was thinking like, oh, this movie's stupid, so I'm going to be stupid.
So I gotta be stupid, yeah. I had people that wanted to throw steak knives at me when I said that, but I'm just like, look, just based on other things I've seen her do, and her body type, she looks like she could play that role.
Yeah, she is, like, I mean, I'm a big Tarantino fan, and I think she's brilliant in Pulp Fiction, and I think she's even better in Kill Bill. I
also think she's extremely versatile, because, I mean, I've seen her in things where I didn't like her, but by and large I've liked her, and I mean, like, she was in The Producers.
Yes, and she was also...
She's great in that.
She was also in The Truth About Cats and Dogs.
I haven't seen that.
Where she plays kind of a flighty model, but she isn't stupid either, and it's a role that could have been played like a dummy, but she does have kind of a mind, she's just not, super intelligent. So she does, like... She plays that part really well, and she's also in Mad Dog and Glory with Bill Murray and Robert De Niro. She's good in that. Where the movie's about, I don't know if you've seen that, but Bill Murray plays a mob boss whose life is saved by Robert De Niro's cop character.
I've not seen that.
So as a favor, he gives him his girlfriend for a week, and that's Uma Thurman.
Oh,
and De Niro and Uma Thurman actually fall in love, and that kind of obviously causes a problem. And she's really, when she cares about a project, she's really good. When she doesn't, it's not fun to watch. And
no, it's not. And I've never been harder on anything as hard as I was my Super Ex-Girlfriend.
Well, that was a painful movie because it wastes a bunch of talented people and a cool premise.
It actually has a significant amount of things in common with this film.
Yes.
Except I actually think it's harder to watch.
Yeah. It is, well, yeah. Well, also, you don't have any emotional attachment to G-Girl, because she's not a character you followed all your life, like these characters.
Well, yeah, there's that.
And you're right, there was never any mention of what G stands for, is there?
No, nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, probably never going to get a commentary on that movie.
Yeah, let's not hope.
I don't think I'm going to do that. Although, you know how we were talking about, was it you that I was talking with when I said it'd be fun to try to come? Oh yeah, it was to come up with a movie that like nobody would watch.
Yeah.
Like what could we post that would get 0 views? I wonder if I could get away with it with that one, but I don't think it's worth trying.
No, I wouldn't try it.
If you've ever wanted to see Captain Logan stab a harpoon through his chest, and then talk about it on audio where you can't see it, that's the video for you.
You know, you're right about Groff and Clooney. They really don't have
nothing together.
They don't. And they actually, this movie depends on it, their relationship.
You know, the only thing that would have made this more the poor man's Batman Forever, which is funny since it's made by the same man.
Yeah.
Would have been if by this point in the movie, because we're an hour and 15 minutes in, this would have been maybe the right point in the movie to have the bat signal, because we just saw the bat signal, with a snowman around it.
Or plants or something. But
you know what? You're right. He doesn't look like Commissioner Gordon.
He doesn't. It's a joke. It's a joke. He's a joke.
And I mean, he never looked like Commissioner Gordon, but now he really doesn't.
This dialogue right here is horrible. You know what? I can forgive Schumacher for being told to put, cartoon cars and all sorts of junk in this movie to appeal. But yep. I severely doubt that anybody told him and Goldman to write this horrible dialogue.
Did you see this amazing detective work?
Yeah.
Where he's able to figure out that the switch to get to Nora Freeze is the TV dinners?
Yeah. I mean, that's Sherlock Holmes detective work right there. I mean, that's the CSI stuff.
No, he only knows that because of how he can get to the bat poles.
Oh man. I'm actually surprised there's no bat poles in this movie. I mean, there was talk that it was going to be Scarecrow and Harley Quinn in the next film, but I would not have been shocked if it was like Bookworm and King Tut.
Yeah, or like
Egghead.
Bob Parker.
Oh, yeah. Or that Robin Hood guy. What was his name?
I think you could get away with King Tut.
No, King.
Did it right? I think you could. Okay. No, because he would just be. You're right. He would probably just be kind of an Egyptian version of. What's that?
First off. Well, actually, King Tut actually is a lot like Maxie Zeus.
That's what I was going to say was Maxie Zeus. I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah. Why?
That's where I was going with that.
A villain where you go, who the heck follows this guy?
Yeah. How does he have minions?
How does anybody? Kevin Smith addressed that in his Cacophony story.
I mean, I know the economy's bad, but how does he have minions?
Yeah, it's like, you know what? I'm going to follow anybody else. Well, I mean, here's that set that looks like the old Adam West Batcave.
Though, I gotta tell you, Manos, ever since Craigslist put up that minion section, a lot of these villains have been having a much easier time at getting minions. As long as they have some sort of motif, there's somebody out there willing to work for them.
Pull the hose! Just pull that hose!
Pull the hose!
It's big and orange!
It's right there! Throw 5 batarangs! In any direction! And you'll hit it!
Bing! Man, Flutie does not care.
No, he doesn't. But I don't think you could be in this movie and know how to care. I don't think you'd know what to care about.
Yeah, every scene, he doesn't look like he cares. It's like, I gotta be on ER set in like 2 days.
One of the things I read about when I reviewed this was that George Clooney came right out and said he doesn't really care for Batman that much. He doesn't like that he's such a dark character. If he's going to play Batman, he doesn't want him to be the dark, broody kind of character. I'm like, okay, but here's the thing. He is.
Yeah, that's it.
It's like, okay, look, there are different versions of Batman. There are some that aren't as much like that, but you've got dialogue from Alfred in your script that tells you are that kind. It doesn't matter how silly and campy the rest of the movie is, you have to play it that way.
Yes. And you know what?
Have to.
I watched the making of before you called me, and he was talking about that. Like,
I think that's where he said it. Yeah, that's where I got it.
And he was talking about he's at this age, he talked about getting over it. It's like, no. Then he'd stop being Batman if he was over it.
Yeah, and by the way, the previous film was called Batman Forever.
He will never ever be over it. It's like it's like getting cast as Hamlet and don't want to be so brooding. And why is Hamlet always like bummed out about his dad?
Yeah, this is not. That's hilarious.
I'm gonna play the fun Hamlet.
There's nothing against Clooney as an actor. I think he's great. I just think he picks a bad role sometimes, and that was one of them.
I think he's a terrific actor, and I will say I think
he doesn't like Batman. He shouldn't have played Batman.
He should have played.
That's all I'm saying. I mean,
he did it for the paycheck. He did it to be in an A-list film.
Yeah, you don't have to like Batman if you don't want to, but don't be Batman.
He did it for a career choice, and you know what? I will give him this credit. He has, after this film, learned his lesson. Because
it didn't hurt him either. I mean, he managed to have a huge career after this.
He's talked about doing projects that he cared about and wanted to do instead of just doing what he thought was good for his career. And it's like, well, great, good, you got the lesson. I'm sorry you had to ruin my fun.
Yeah.
To make
your, I gotta ask you a question about
but
that.
Like, I'm glad you learned it.
I'm not sure that's a strategy that makes a lot of sense, because Michael Keaton didn't really get a lot out of Batman. Career-wise. It kind of hurt his career. I mean, he didn't do a lot after that.
I don't think so. I wouldn't say it was Batman that did it.
Oh, you don't think so?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, it didn't help him.
It
helped a lot of other people.
Yeah. I don't think it hurt it.
Oh, okay. All right.
I really don't.
He didn't do a lot after that, though.
Well, I mean, that may have to do with more of Michael Keaton's just career point, no matter what. I think his career probably would be at the point it is now, with or without Batman.
Okay. Well, fair enough. But I was just going to say that, like George Clooney at least has obviously heard of Batman Forever, because I mean, like, he's probably thinking more what it was doing for Val Kilmer than what it was doing for Keaton.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then everything he says about Batman makes it seem like he didn't even see that film. So,
He probably didn't see this film. I would willing to bet that he has never seen this film.
Well, I meant Batman Forever.
Oh, yeah, Batman Forever. Oh, that too. I don't think George Clooney has seen any Batman movie, including the ones he's in.
I'm not sure he's seen a superhero film.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Yeah, it's just not what he's into. That's fine.
He doesn't care. And you know what? I get it. I understand. I don't love everything. I don't like baseball. But I'm not going to try and, get on a team. I respect, hey, people love baseball, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? I understand that. I'm not going to fault anybody for not being into something I'm into, blah, blah, blah.
Mr. Freeze is so emotional, and I care so much about him. Wait,
how come my thing didn't work on you if you don't have any emotions?
He's such a sympathetic character all of a sudden now that there's a CGI tear that was running down his cheek.
Yeah, I know.
Oh. You ever had those moments where you're crying CG?
Oh, I know. That moment when the Kraken dies, I was crying CG.
See, you were crying. See, this is another one of those scenes where they're pulling from the animated series for Mr. Freeze, but they don't really know why they're doing it.
Exactly. It's another case of like adapting something you don't get or care about.
Just because you don't have any better ideas and you wanted Mr. Freeze in your movie.
Oh, you know what? Peter David was talking about this film in his column for Comic Book Buyer's Guide. And they had a free showing or something to the staff at DC, and he was invited to it. And halfway through the film, they started riffing on it, like MST3K. And when they pulled this plant out that we're looking at, I think it was Paul Levitz who said, "Feed me, Seymour."
That plant that looks like BBC in the late 70s, dude.
No, it's not that good.
Oh, okay.
It's like something like when you applied at Jim Henson's workshop. Like, oh, hey, this is something I made, when I was 10. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you make its head move with popsicle sticks all, like, duct taped together.
What's this disease he has? It's called Magruder syndrome?
But McGregor syndrome?
You've seen a bad comedy based on a Saturday Night Live sketch. You're dying.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, that they named this syndrome off after like one of the producers or somebody who worked on this movie.
Oh, smart! Yeah.
Because I saw that name in the opening credits and went, wait a minute. All right.
Well, thanks, Goldman. You named a cancer after me. That's touching. Man.
It's such an honor.
Hey, Logan, I promise you, in anything I write, I'm not going to name some form of cancer after you.
No?
No. No one's going to be dying of Logan's disease. Oh, wait, there is a Logan's.
No, I think there are people that die from that, actually. God, Manos, how dare you? You retroactively named something after me that already existed.
Oops, I apologize.
Captain Logan kills people every day.
This conversation is making me happy. I wish the movie was close.
Well, we got to do something because our chests aren't going to impale themselves after all.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I got this harpoon laying up against the wall that's just begging me to pick it up and stab myself with it. So
here, take my iPad.
Here, just don't invent this for 10 years.
Don't let
Steve
Jobs see this.
Whatever you do, don't invent it. We haven't gotten there yet, but I have to say it now because I might miss it because we might talk about other things. He password protects the secret of Batman with a 3-letter password.
I forgot. It was something simple.
The Secret of Batman.
Oh.
With a 3-letter password.
Was it?
It's not even case sensitive.
Was it BAT?
No, it's PEG.
PEG?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that's set up earlier. Yeah,
it's set up earlier. And I guess it's supposed to be clever, but it's a 3-letter password, and it's not even case sensitive.
Mm-hmm. My
passwords are 26. How many possible combinations are there of 3?
My passwords at work at the department store are more sensitive. It's like 9. I have to have one uppercase letter. It has to be a number, and it has to be 7.
Oh, look, a giant, huge party where everybody's dressed up and it's like really expensive looking. I wonder what's going to happen.
Yeah, why would you show up to any party in Gotham? It's like, great. Can someone like in a crazy costume show up and kill us again?
Oh, look. The villain is pretending to be her old self again and walking around this party with a different haircut. I wonder where we got this idea from.
Well, look, people in the DC universe just are too stupid. They just you get your hair cut and glasses, and you might as well have gotten plastic surgery.
You know, you made a really good point earlier about Chief O'Hara. Because,
Yeah.
like Commissioner Gordon wasn't already incompetent enough. No, we gotta dumb him down to the level of Chief O'Hara now.
I know. I mean, why? Why don't you just give him Chief O'Hara?
He looks more like Chief O'Hara.
But why does he have to look like him? I mean, it happened halfway through Batman Forever.
Yeah.
And,
I don't know what they were thinking.
I don't know either. And that's why Forever, kind of gets a bad rap sometimes. It's like, yeah, you can actually see the wheels turning into Batman and Robin. Like, I mean, and Chief O'Hara is a good example where, I mean, literally Gordon, is dressed like Gordon through the first half of the film, and then the circus scene, he's in that Chief O'Hara costume. And there we go. I don't think we've seen him out of it since.
I still think he has my favorite line in that whole movie. Yep, it's a suicide. Case closed.
Yep.
Clearly. Did you see that guy in the thing jump off the thing?
Yeah.
It's suicide. There's no way anyone could possibly be coerced.
I'm so emotionless.
I know that I always feel more sympathetic toward a villain when he's talking about ripping people's hearts out. I gotta tell you, I cried the first time I thought Spawn killed Violator. Really, we got Bane picking up the bat signal just because that's a comic book panel, not because there's actually anything.
Nope,
any,
that's it. The end.
Weight to this or anything.
And here comes the only moment where Alfred looks stupid in this movie, is where we get the Max Headroom version of Alfred.
Oh yeah, good point.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's dumb. I love that she's. I mean, look, we got a character like this who's supposed to be a computer genius, and we're supposed to think that she's amazing at everything. And we're supposed to like her because she's so smart. The first thing she thinks of for somebody's password is their name?
I know, it's pretty clever.
But I mean, who is dumb enough to think that that's how anyone would password protect me? I know this is before everybody was online and everybody had passwords for things, but really, I wouldn't have been that stupid in 1997, dude. You know, Manos, I actually hacked into your email last week, and you really should have used Manos as your password.
I should have never thought of that.
Actually, what happened was I typed in Manos, and it didn't go through, so I wrote Hands of Fate, and then it went through.
Oh, darn it.
God, what were you thinking?
Well, it was the first thing that came to me after, a few thousand tries. And
all you'd have to do with that password, Manos, is put a 3 on the end, and it'd be a lot harder.
This
Peg 3. Crap! I never would have thought of that.
This scene is actually the closest Clooney comes to doing a character, right here.
With that tiny flashback.
Yeah, with the tiny flashback, where he's talking to Alfred. But you know what? You've made the point in your review of this, maybe it would have been better dramatically if Alfred died.
Yeah, except it wouldn't have fit in this movie because this movie is too over the top and yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason that they couldn't have done it, which is why they shouldn't have had this plot here at all, because they're teasing me.
Yeah, well, I mean,
no, we could have actually potentially made a movie with emotional weight in it. These scenes almost work. And it's oh crap, they actually could have made a half-decent film. Well, the same people made Forever. They did make a half-decent film. In fact, I think Batman Forever is the dictionary definition of half-decent film.
I think that's actually...
If you look up half-decent film in the dictionary, you get a picture of Val Kilmer in a batsuit.
Yeah, I think if you pick up the DVD, that's the critical praise on the back. Half-decent, Captain Logan.
Also, hey now, don't be telling people about half decent Captain Logan. Manos, how is it that not only does he have a 3-letter password, but he doesn't have it set up to where if you try it too many times, it locks you out?
Yeah, I know.
Really?
hey, cool, he's got this bat symbol right there, too, in the computer. Oh.
Like, really, that's a screensaver?
Yep, he's got that screensaver. Yeah, I mean, that wasn't just the titles of the film, it was his screensaver we were looking at.
Well, and I love that, like his screensaver is all the blueprints of anything he's ever invented and the bat signal.
Mm-hmm. Not what you did.
So, I got a question for you, Manos.
What?
Why does Mr. Freeze sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I don't know. I think it's kind of an impression or something. I don't know.
Have you noticed how Arnold Schwarzenegger... Oh my god, I didn't remember this.
What?
They really do the altered bat signal in the sky. It is Batman Forever.
Yeah, there's no... I mean, really.
They did it again.
Really rewrote the script and, like, edited out all the stuff that wasn't terrible.
How do we make this worse?
Yeah.
How do we make the same movie but worse? We're on a timetable, folks.
Yeah.
You give me ideas for how to make this work. How to make this worse. Let's have Alfred talk about pizza in the first 5 minutes. Oh, you know what? That's a good idea because we did the same thing in the first movie except with hamburgers.
Yeah. And essentially, like, you know, Barbara's like entry into the group here is pretty similar to, if not almost exactly like Robin's, except we didn't get a sequence seeing her parents be killed. But that's it.
Yeah. You know, with I was gonna go on a second for that with Schwarzenegger. Did he start getting so many roles that it just got to the point where people got tired of trying to come up with reasons for why he had an accent?
Yes. Yeah. He was just a guy with an accent.
That's so goofy because not only does he have an accent, but hardly anybody else in Hollywood sounds like him.
Well,
he just plays straight up American people all the time.
Well, there's Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I'm not saying he's the only one, but it's silly nonetheless.
Yeah. Hey,
I'm just saying there should like he should be from somewhere, right?
Yeah. Well, he's normally. Sometimes they would come up with a backstory, but often they wouldn't.
Mr. Freeze is sometimes played as British, but like he's usually from someplace.
That's true. Well, now he's from Austria.
Oh, okay, all right. He's the Austrian Mr. Freeze. This is my favorite scene in the whole movie.
Yeah, it's everybody's favorite scene in the movie.
Bane going bomb. Because the thing is, it's legitimately funny because they don't think it is. But now, see, I don't know.
No, I think they thought it was funny.
I also got to say,
look. Everybody who does the Frankenstein Tarzan language joke, they think it's funny.
All right.
And that's what they're doing with Bane. He's Frankenstein.
Manos, how dare Mr. Freeze quote Khan?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, really, like that's like the hatchet at that point, you know, like you're sealing your fate as being
don't do it.
Being people's least favorite movie when you start also having your crappy villains quoting some of the best villains of all time. How dare you?
What are these lasers for again?
I think maybe they're there in case somebody shows up in the Batcave through a 3-letter password. Oh, but she crossed through the blue one. That's the good kind.
Yeah.
That's the kind that tells the computer that you're Barbara Gordon or Barbara Penny something.
I think Catherine Zeta-Jones is in the back, like getting through them or something like that.
Oh, okay. So she has to tell the computer it's her. All right. Yeah. Well, I love how it's a Mac. That's hilarious. Look at that. That's hilarious. It's a Mac.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anybody who gets snooty with me about Mac, I can bring up this movie.
Well, I'm not saying that it says anything bad about Mac. I'm
just making a joke. Anyway.
A lot of computers in television and movies, even now, very often are Macs.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is.
It is. Okay, here's another terrible scene.
Manos, you're so redundant.
I know. Well, I mean, it's...
Okay, so we're watching Batman and Robin, and here's a bad scene.
Yep, here's another awful scene that makes me hate myself.
I'm thinking, this is another scene that makes me think about sending myself to the glue factory.
Yep. Here's another scene that makes me hesitate for a second before I tell non-fans what I like to read. Swamp Thing, are you here? You know, in Peter David's review of this movie, he said Uma Thurman is awesome in this movie when she doesn't speak. Like when she's just being silent as the character, she looks fantastic, and it's very convincing. And then she starts talking the way she does, and everything's ruined.
That's why. That's a lot of the reason I say that she probably was the right pick for this role.
She was a great pick, and any other director who, I mean, if like, I don't know, Josh Whedon had put this together or something like that. Can you imagine what her character would have been like?
Well, it wouldn't have looked like that.
That's true.
I like to make understatements sometimes. You know, like, here's a bad scene.
And here's another terrible 20-minute scene.
Let's see, we got 25 minutes left in this movie. You want to take bets on there being another bad scene?
Yeah. No. That's kind of a bet I'd lose.
Manos is like, no. This is one of those reverse third act syndrome movies where it gets great by the third. We got this horrible thing. We've already had the back credit card, but the last 20 minutes, amazing.
Let me ask you, has that ever happened to you? Have you seen a movie that was pretty bad, like, I don't know, almost all the way up until the end, and then it gets really good?
I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Yeah. And yet sometimes when we watch a bad movie, we keep hoping, like, oh, maybe now. Oh, wait. They reversed the film in a shot here. Hold on. I remember they were reversing the film when Dick Grayson gets pulled up out of the water and then he gets pulled back down. Let me see if my memory served me right.
Manos, I'm sorry, everybody. Manos wants to talk about this scene.
All right.
I apologize.
Let me just... Hey, his cape is attached to his legs. Ha ha!
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I don't know.
Oh, I know. Some intern walked over and put it there.
Yeah. So it doesn't look weird or something. It's Miss Piggy! Oh, no, it's Speck.
That would have been better.
And wouldn't have been too out of context.
No, okay, so Batgirl comes down and she said her line wrong. What she said was for her entrance, she said you're about to be compost. Her line in the script was spoon.
Yeah.
But she didn't say it.
Yeah, look at that. They reversed the film. This is a big A-list summer blockbuster, and they reversed the film in a shot. Unforgivable. Right.
Yeah.
Unforgivable.
That's what it is.
That is Roger Corman bargain basement garbage.
Unforgivable.
I mean, I can understand the terrible Batmobile and the awful acting and the god-awful dialogue and the stupid casting, the stupid acting choices, but they reversed the film.
I always wonder if Poison Ivy just, like, practices all of her blocking before things happen that she doesn't know are going to happen.
Yeah. Wait, why would her plant, like, eat her?
All
of a sudden.
It really makes no sense at all. I thought she had control over plants.
Yeah.
I guess kissing Robin and Robin having wax lips or plastic lips or whatever means that plants don't take her orders anymore.
That's not very BC. PC. That's such a stupid line.
That is a stupid line. Like really, do they think they're being that modern with that? I mean, like...
Oh, no.
I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure that... I mean, like, I'm not a woman, so I can't speak for all women, but I'm pretty sure that most women are not offended by Batgirl being called Batgirl.
Mm-hmm. No.
Man,
and who designed this observatory? Lady Gaga?
And I've talked to plenty of women. That's hilarious. I've talked to plenty of women about her age or older that would prefer to be called girl than woman. So, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. And Batman's not a PC guy.
Why is Mr. Freeze playing Galaga?
It's like, hey, I'm Batgirl. Okay, great. You beat that villain. Let's go. I mean, that's kind of Batman. Oh, no, he's freezing Matte painting. Take that, matte painting. Take that, 1960s studio set. And we're going to see the dog in a second. Take that, yep. Doctor Who. There we go. The dog.
Take that, Superman. Oh, wait.
The dog from Batman Forever got frozen.
Wow, I can't believe that they felt the need to make that a callback.
Yeah, it's like...
Where's the girl with the purple hair? Why can't we freeze her?
Yeah, it's...
Well, Manos, I can safely say that
I'm so emotionless right now.
I can safely say that this movie is as bad as the last time I saw it.
Yeah. It's never... Oh, I guess they swung by the Batcave to get these incredibly kind of useless vehicles.
Yeah, they're useless. They're like, no, these go on ice. They're really helpful because they go on ice. Mm-hmm. We got a Bat Snowblower there.
Yeah.
And the frozen Batgirl cycle. So they had time to make Batgirl not only a cycle, but a freeze cycle.
And 2 costumes. She also has a anti-ice suit.
And somebody explain to me again why, in case you forget the point I made earlier while watching this, because maybe you've lost all your brain cells. Why are there anti-freeze suits the color of frozenness?
I don't know, because it's pretty. I mean, it's the only thing.
Like, shouldn't those vehicles be shooting ice, not repelling it?
Yeah. Oh no, Dr. Doom's upset.
Wow, I can't believe that the side of one of those vehicles lights up like that. That's so goofy. I mean, it looks like a carnival ride.
Yeah.
It's a carnival ride, Manos.
It is. I mean, it doesn't look like anything different than you'd see in a Universal tour or something like that. Every fight sequence comes off like that. Where the fight sequences in Batman Forever, had a nice kind of fluid energy to them. This one does come off like a stunt show.
Oh, yeah. It's Batman on ice.
Yeah. Literally. Ha! Come see Batman on ice fight Go-Go the Gorilla. And also appearing the Little Mermaid. Oh, finally got that stupid Batgirl mask off my face.
Can I ask you a question, Manos?
Yes.
We've got about 20 minutes left. Do you think you could find a way to make a reference to every other Disney princess you haven't referenced yet?
I could.
You think that's possible? Manos' go-to reference tonight is Disney princesses.
Well, you know what? It just happens. Oh, let me see. Okay, here's let's break down what we're doing here. And,
you'd really hate it for the audience to get lost at this point in the thickness of this plot. Okay, so if we reverse the polarimeters and turn on the isolinear converters, then we can deflect the ice back off the sun, off the moon, and then bring it back, and then...
yeah.
Yeah.
It was interesting seeing a space shot in this movie, which we've never seen in a Batman film up until this point. Aha! I look normal. Oh man, come on. The flipping is so unnatural in this film.
Yeah. Well, like you said, we're watching a stunt show.
Yeah.
We're not watching a Batman film, we're watching a stunt show.
Yeah. Oh, I can't type in these gloves.
See, I've seen a lot of previews for Batman Live. That Batman, what do you call it, stunt show?
Yeah.
The stage show.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of people complaining about that it looked too much like these films. And I'm like, okay, look, the difference is it's supposed to be a stunt show.
This film shouldn't look like those.
This film shouldn't look like this.
Yeah.
That thing, it's forgivable, because that's what it is.
Look, those scientists should be dead.
Oh, and you know what?
They should be dead.
Have the same problem as that idiot security guard at the beginning of Forever. They get all this screen time for no good reason.
Yeah.
And they're talking and things.
Isn't there supposed to be like a 10-minute limit, like when they're frozen in this movie? Like if they're frozen for 10 minutes, they're dead, or something like that. Well, they've been frozen longer than 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They should be dead, dead, dead.
It's like Spider-Man's web fluid, only more dangerous.
Yeah, well, yeah, because it kills you.
Yeah,
although that's not really. I don't know. I don't even think that's even real life too. But you have my permission to die. Right now!
Right. Right now. You don't even have to wait! I don't know why, but I always envision Bane in this movie driving an ice cream truck.
Fine. It would make sense.
I want an action figure of Bane from this movie driving an ice cream truck.
I'm surprised it didn't happen. Ugh. Man, fighting him should be not this hard. I mean, it should be like cow tipping, really.
Yeah, but remember
that he goes right down. Look at that.
This is the Mr. Freeze that can leap tall buildings in a single. Oh, you mean Bane? Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Boom. Done. Done.
Why didn't you do that 45 minutes ago? Robin's like, hey, wait a minute. Did you notice that thing sticking out of the top of it? No, I didn't notice that until just now.
That was easy.
Wow.
Beating this guy's a cinch.
When we fight supervillains next time, I'm going to look for hoses.
Yeah, anything attached to their face that looks important, I'm hitting it.
You better look out, villain with a vacuum cleaner motif. I know what to do.
Yay. I guess.
And the disco ball has been dropped.
We're kind of dead.
That's so dumb.
All right.
Wait till the U.S. Army hears about this.
I know, this is kind of a dangerous machine, actually. You can freeze cities cold, you can fry them.
Yeah, like the army finds out about this and goes, "Oh my God, we never realized all the applications."
God, we don't even have to have nukes anymore.
Man, I can't believe that it took Mr. Freeze. I can't believe that no 007 villains have tried this yet.
Haha, I got that one thing. Okay, good. Oh, I thought they were just pretty! Oh no, they're bombs!
Manos, is this one of those third acts where there's nothing to say because there's nothing happening?
Exactly. You're just kind of exhausted. You're like Bane. Right here. Oh.
Well, no, Manos, that's because you pulled all those tubes out of my bag. I can't believe
now the scientists die.
Yeah, well, it's about time. They've been talking too much. I mean, they've been upstaging the not so great acting by our actual actors in this film. No,
Well, everything looks okay. Oh my God!
I just couldn't believe that Mr. Freeze still had the energy to keep making puns while he thinks he's dying. He's like, freeze in hell, Batman. I'm like, what, do you write these on cue cards and, work on them in your spare time?
Yeah, he has been prepared. Wow, look at
He's
that,
just
look at
ready
that
for
thing.
that.
Look how much hardware does he have in that glove? There we go.
Oh, you know what? He's got to weigh what Mr. Freeze weighs.
Yeah, I know. That suit has to weigh 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, I think he actually borrowed it from Mr. Freeze. I think he was like, hey, Mr. Freeze, we got this big battle coming up. Can I borrow one of your suits and just put a bat symbol on it?
Yeah, sure. Why not? There you go. Oh, yeah.
Mr. Freeze looks at Batman and says, yeah, that'd be cool.
Thank you, Batman. Die. Okay, kids, let's sweep up or something. I don't know.
So Manos, do do you think that now that that we will have done this, that you will manage to never have to sit through this ever again?
I will probably never watch this film again, actually.
Like, you think you'll get away with never in the rest of your life having to sit through this?
I would hope so. It would be great if I could live to 100 and never see this thing again.
You know, I've already done the trivia questions for this, so I may manage to not have to watch it again either.
You might be all set.
Yeah.
I love that. Like, hey, who's good with computers? How about you, Batman?
What? You're freaking Batman. He's like, why don't you call up Alfred on your cell phone?
Yeah. Who built that giant computer you have in the cave?
And what are Alfred's qualifications if you know jack about computers? Yeah, that always really bothered me. It's like, hey, who here is good with computers? Oh, there's only 3 of us? Oh, well, crap.
Oh, darn. Here comes the sun.
Do.
No, it's been longer than 10 minutes. Everyone's dead.
Everyone's dead.
How would that have been for
What's really funny about that is that's like even real time. I think it's been longer than 10 minutes with, like, cuts.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding.
Okay, did you see on that, I think I'm a couple seconds behind you, but did you see on that car the bouncing ice?
Yeah.
Like this guy opens up a car door and there's like this rubber ice that is bouncing.
Is that Schumacher's dog or something? Why do we keep seeing that thing?
It must be. Why do we care? Why is he in the box?
It's like a character. It's like the talking dog from Powerpuff Girls.
Powerpuff Girls, that's what I was going to say. Oh, and then, you remember Buttercup in the movie? Oh, and then that dog! And that stupid dog!
Except the dog in Powerpuff Girls is funny.
It's great.
And then kill your wife. Oh, okay.
No, I didn't, and I have the proof because I record everything on my little Palm Pilot in the middle of my palm.
You should kill us on sight. You should kill us on sight.
he turns on that thing to show Mr. Freeze, and then it's just like that footage that he taped from Batman Returns of the Penguin. He's like, oh wait, that's the wrong one.
Yeah.
Why does Batman have a PSP?
Yeah, he's like 10 years ahead of everybody.
Yeah, like that looked just like a PSP. I didn't know Batman liked to play portable video games from Sony.
He's got to do something when he's like, what's he doing? Like, staking out things.
Oh, that's a good
between
point.
edits, he's staking out. Victories.
Da-da-da-da-da.
He's inside you. Yeah. You know what? I will say this.
Victor, that wasn't really a magic hubcap. The magic was inside of you all along.
Yeah.
Sorry, good.
Believe in yourself, Victor.
I
will say this: the villains in this film don't find out who Batman is.
Yeah, and they both live.
Yeah, they both live.
Which is irritating because of all those villains they've killed off that I liked more than them.
Yeah, I know. And you know what? I hate it when people...
Like, to add insult to injury. They're just like, no, we gotta leave these people alive because no one will like them.
You know what I hate is when people, like, compare the performances in this movie, and maybe even Batman Forever, too, to Jack Nicholson's Joker. Because you know what? Compared to these performances, Jack Nicholson's Joker is subtle.
Yeah.
I mean, there are moments of menace, and he would, like, be quiet and think.
Happen in places.
Yeah, I mean, he actually had moments of subtlety in his character. These characters don't, and they're actually more like the villains in Electro Woman and Dyna Girl.
You don't get anything close.
Logan, do yourself a favor. When you get a minute, I don't know, there's a number of episodes of Electro Woman on YouTube. Go look at one.
All right.
Like the one with the Spider Lady or the Alibaba character. And tell me if there's any difference in the performances of those villains to these villains.
I was just saying there's nothing that even comes close to like wait till they get a load of me.
Yeah, nothing. And they constantly tried. I remember when I watched there was actually a QVC special at the time this came out, of like all the merchandise they were selling, and the hosts were like telling each other their favorite lines from the film that hasn't come out yet.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was so superficial. It's like, oh, like, you know, they're repeating Ivy's and that, you know, Uma Thurman's good in this scene. That's what bugs me. It's like her very last scene comes off the best.
Well, and frankly, for him, too.
Yeah. It's like, well, why didn't you make this movie?
Granted, he's still making plant puns, but...
True. But, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and it's done.
He doesn't kill her. It's just really awkward.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, what exactly is he going to do?
Like, did they give him his suit back?
I guess.
That's not smart. I mean, I know Arkham Asylum is not the most efficient at keeping villains in prison, but giving him his suit seems like a number one mistake.
Oh, and you know, they cut something out of that scene. I forgot to tell you about this, Manos. They cut out the part where the guard walks in and tells Poison Ivy that she can't live outside of the plant zone. You can't live outside of the plant zone.
Oh, we specially designed it. Tax money went into this. But, head nod.
So everything's okay at the end because it's a cartoon.
Yep.
Except it's not a cartoon. I haven't seen very many cartoons this bad.
No. I mean, no. No. I think Cow and Chicken is this cartoon.
No, it's not.
Oh,
it's
Cow and Chicken.
Cow and Chicken's better than this. It is.
Yep.
Ed, and Eddie is better than this.
This movie is more cartoonish than Cow and Chicken.
I guess some people like Ed and Eddie. I didn't like that show.
It's okay. But
theme song.
Yeah, that was pretty decent.
It was really
catchy. Yeah.
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I don't know. Just
why is there so much pink inside Batman's house?
Come on, hey.
We all gotta be partners. You know
well,
why?
Just for 2 more minutes.
Because this movie is called Batman, Robin, and Batgirl. Wait, no, it's not.
Yeah.
You know, you're right. This soundtrack is horrible. Now that I sat through the whole thing again, you win. It's horrible.
It's really, you know, not even the soundtrack is good. The only one who cares.
That subjective thing where you open up a movie review with, you know, I better start with something that's good. The music was out. Nope. We don't even get that in this movie.
The only one who cares is Billy Corgan. The only one. That's the only person who cares in this movie.
Manos, pat yourself on the back. We made it through.
Oh.
We are still alive.
Yeah, and Lindsay's sitting here too, and she made it through with us.
Wow, did she sit through the whole thing?
Yeah, she's sewing some stuff.
This is my first time ever sitting through the whole thing.
Wow. See, I thought maybe you were wearing a blindfold. That's what I would have been doing.
Oh, I forgot. Senator Patrick Leahy is in this movie. He plays himself.
Is that the same senator that's in one of the later films?
Yeah, he's in Dark Knight.
Yeah, he's cool in that.
Yeah, well, what's great is he's the senator who's still in Congress, actually, and he's a big Batman fan. And I don't know how, but he's in this terrible movie. He's in Dark Knight, and now you kind of blink him and you miss him in Batman and Robin, but in Dark Knight, you know who he plays?
Yeah, well, he's in the party scene.
Yeah, he's in the party scene. He's the guy that he tells Joker, Heath Ledger Joker, you know, I'm not going to take it from you punks. And he goes, you remind me of my father. I hated my father. That's
him. See, I knew that was a senator, but I didn't realize it was the same one from this movie.
Yeah, that's him.
That's neat. Yeah.
You could almost make the case it's the same universe. It's got both Patrick Leahy's in it.
Oh, no, Manos.
He also has a cameo in the Batman animated series.
Really? That's neat that he's just that big of a Batman fan. They let him be in movies.
Yeah, and it's actually, I know which episode. It's the episode where it's the flashback of Ra's al Ghul in the Old West, where he's taking on Jonah Hex. where he.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he plays the governor in that one scene where they're going to unite the railroad together.
You know, it's kind of irritating that they felt the need to cut off the Smashing Pumpkins song early.
I know. It's like great. The one thing that's not putrid.
It also has nothing to do with this movie at all.
Oh.
Well, Manos, how are we going to kill the next minute?
How about ourselves?
All
No,
right.
no, I'm kidding, of course. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, me too. Actually, you know what?
Actually, no. There is one thing I want to talk to you about.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Batman Triumphant.
Yes.
When you think about that, I mean, when you think about what they were going to do, I guess it's good that didn't happen because, I mean, if Batman Triumphant happened, it would have had the Scarecrow and Harley Quinn. And
would have really changed the face of the Nolan films.
Well, there probably wouldn't have been the Nolan films.
Not if it was successful, there wouldn't have been.
No. I mean, or they would have been pushed back.
Yeah, or somebody else would have done them. Yep. I mean, the way movies happen, you know, Nolan probably would have gotten big with some other movie, and
that's good. That's a good point. He probably he was ready for that film when it happened.
Exactly.
If it happened 2-3 years later, maybe he had moved on. That's a good point. So we probably wouldn't have got the Nolan films if Batman Triumphant happened. But I'm pretty sure we would have had maybe George Clooney in 2 films.
Oh,
I know. Ugh.
The thing is, it wouldn't matter how good that script was. It wouldn't have worked.
Yeah. Or maybe they would have, finagled Val Kilmer back.
That would have been nice.
That would have been fantastic because he's a far superior Batman than Clooney. And we would have gotten, Robin and Batgirl and more Commissioner or Chief O'Hara.
Yep.
And they were talking about Howard Stern as the Scarecrow.
Oh,
that was a name that was tossed around. But you know what? I'll be honest, that wouldn't have happened because after the movie Private Parts came out, his name was bandied about being in other movies. But Howard Stern can only play Howard Stern. And if you noticed, he didn't do anything else after that, movie-wise. So I'm willing to wager Jeff Goldblum probably would have got that part. And
Jeff Goldblum would have been great for that part in his day.
And
but the thing is, I don't see how you could have gone from this movie to another movie that didn't look as just like this or worse.
Yeah, and I've heard.
I just don't see it. If he was going to keep any kind of continuity.
Well, I'd see. Well, you could probably partly keep a continuity. Well, the thing I've heard, the rumor I've heard, and you may have heard this too, where Harley Quinn was supposed to be the daughter of the Jack Nicholson Joker.
Yeah, I did hear that. And Jack was going to come back for some flashbacks or dream sequences or something.
Yeah, because he always wanted to come back.
Of course he did, because that looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I know a lot of people don't like his Joker, but one thing you can say for the man, he had a blast making that film.
Yeah, and he loved what he was doing. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, compare that to the performances in this movie of people who were just getting paychecks.
Jack Nicholson had won an Oscar, I want to say, if not just nominated for things before that. And he had played some really serious roles and some really great roles. He gets to Batman. It's like that was the role he was waiting to play his whole life.
Yeah. Well, and he had played he had done The Shine. He had actually at that point already carved a career playing crazy guys. He had played the Devil in Witches of Eastwick. And, The Shining. So it was a lot of people, a logical, character for him to play.
Yeah.
And so, I think we would have gotten those. Who do you think could have played, what year would this have come out in? 99? 2000?
Or 2000.
2000? Who do you think?
I don't think they would have rushed it out as fast because Batman and Robin didn't do what they wanted it to.
Yeah, well, let's say for sake of argument,
2000 or 2001.
Yeah, 2000, 2001. Let's say this movie didn't tank or something.
Yeah.
And they got enough going to do it. So probably maybe 2000 or 2001. Who do you think they would have got to play Harley Quinn?
Ooh, that's tough. Because the thing is, you can do her in a couple of different ages, really. I mean, like, you could cast somebody who was 18 or 20, or you could cast somebody who's in her late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Do you have anybody in mind? I'm terrible at fan casting.
That's okay. I actually thought Mira Sorvino, I think, would have been able to be a good choice, because she had late 90s, early 2000s, I can't remember exact year. She won an Oscar for her first performance in that Woody Allen film. And let's see, she's also known for being in Romeo and Michelle. And I remember, and her performance in that Woody Allen film was kind of a Harley Quinn-ish kind of character, actually, where she plays kind of a stupid prostitute who it's kind of a Born Yesterday kind of story and stuff like that, which is obviously an influence on Harley Quinn. So I think she would have been an obvious choice. And I know the Batman films try to get Oscar winners to be in their terrible movies.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I think she would have been an excellent choice. And you can even connect it with continuity, because Jack Nicholson's girlfriend was Boss Grisham's wife, played by Jerry Ryan or something like. Not Jerry Ryan.
No.
I can't remember her name.
I don't know her from anything.
She was a thing for a while. She was a model, and she was Mick Jagger's longtime girlfriend. I can't remember her name all of a sudden. But, yeah, I mean, he was dating a blonde in the first movie. So it's very obviously she would have been the daughter of those two.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Now, granted, I'm thinking. So they probably wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm not sure you should be doing that.
They probably wouldn't have thought that much into it.
Well, anyway, Manos, we're well after the end credits of the film, so we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah.
But everybody, thanks a lot for listening to Geeks Not Nerds, the podcast. Manos, thanks so much for coming back and doing this horrible, horrible film.
No, thank you. It was it's one of the highlights of my year.
Oh, thanks, man. Well, I thought it was a lot of fun, too. And, we really laid this on real thick about, how hard this was to get through. But, this actually was Manos' idea. Manos was like, hey, do you want to do Batman and Robin? And I was like, yeah, we've got to do that. So, anyway, I hope everybody really enjoyed it. Thanks, as always, for listening. I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm the real Manos.
Manos, I'd love to bring you back for another one sometime.
I'd love to come back. These were great. These were a lot of fun.
We'll see you later.